There's a key.
No, this is not warfare.
But if you want to support the narco-terrorists, go ahead.
Okay, well,
I can see why you got washed out.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to yesterday's news channel where we watch CNN so you don't have to. Today we're back on CNN's NewsNight where Scott Jennings walks straight into a full-on CNN dogpile after defending Trump's targeted tariff cuts. And things get especially tense when the douchebag from yesterday's video, Miles Taylor, tries to flex his DHS clearance like it's a Trump card. Anyway, let's see what happens when Scott Jennings is faced with an unhinged, dangerous liberal panel. Will Scott choose fight or flight? Let's go.
Whatever tax cuts Donald Trump gave us, he wiped away with price increases. And now he's realizing what conservative economists have known for centuries. Tariffs are taxes, and he's having to walk it back.
I mean, your Senator Rand Paul just put out today, this means that tariffs were taxes all along.
Yeah, he's long opposed. It's interesting. Both of my senators, Paul and McConnell, have opposed Trump on this, and some Republicans have. Some Republicans aren't comfortable with it, and whether it's a violation of conservative orthodoxy or not is really not in question. Of course, the party was a no tariff or a selectively used tariff party for a long time. It's not his view. We'll find out what the Supreme Court wants to do with it soon enough. Those arguments did not appear to go well for him. I would just say this announcement was part of other announcements this week. They cut trade deals with Ecuador, Guatemala, El Salvador, Argentina, and I think Switzerland. And so they continue to go out and either cut trade deals or trim the sails on the tariff policy to adjust it as they see fit. My political analysis is if they're finding ways to lower the cost of things like bananas and coffee and other things that people use on a regular basis, that'll inure to his and the Republican Party's benefit. And I suspect over the next year, they will continue to look for ways to try to drive the cost of living down. They would also pivot to say, we're going to have $2 gas pretty soon. That gas is much lower than it was. It got up to $5 a gallon in the Biden administration. We now have more gas production being opened up. So I think and then the healthcare debate, which is a whole other show we could have, but there's a number of things they're going to have to do to give people the idea that the trajectory of their ability to get their nose above water when it comes to the personal economy of the household is working.
Okay, he's sort of making it up as he goes along. And this is part of the problem. And so as you're thinking about it with taxes, right? I mean, with tariffs, which are taxes. And so that's a problem. At the same time, just to shift a little bit, because we are talking about bananas, many of which come from the Caribbean. We see the president putting ships into the Caribbean, bombing boats that are coming from Venezuela, perhaps, without any. We don't know what's on the boats because we bombed them, and so we have no idea.
Have we reduced the supply of bananas?
There are no more boats there to know.
We don't know if there are children or girlfriends or anybody else on those boats.
I'm sorry, what?
Because we are blowing up boats without having any real sense about what's happening inside those boats.
You think there's bananas, children, and girlfriends on the boats?
We have no idea. The point is we have no idea what's on the boats. And you know who else is upset about it? The British.
Isn't what Trump's doing a really good thing? Trump's tariff strategy has always been a long-term project. Rebuild supply chains, bring manufacturing home, and stop letting China eat our lunch. Everybody knows that takes time. He's not blind. He knows Americans are getting crushed by prices right now. So what does he do? He cuts tariffs on targeted consumer goods, clothing, electronics, household items, auto parts, right around the holidays, by the way. Thank you, President Trump. This is the stuff families buy every single week. That gives people breathing room today without abandoning the bigger strategy. And it's the same little dumb game by CNN. If Trump keeps the tariffs, they scream he's ignoring affordability. If he eases a few of them to help struggling families, suddenly he's caving and the entire strategy has failed. He literally cannot win with these people, not because the policy is bad, but because the criticism is automatic. Meanwhile, the tariff framework is still bringing in massive revenue, the trade wins keep adding up, and Americans, even the ones like me and like a lot of you, we talked about this early on. We said we were willing to take short-term pain if it meant fixing the mess we inherited. And while patriots like us are willing to accept that, Trump's still trying to help us out. He's maintaining the long-term strategy and finding ways to help people that are struggling in the short term. Put more broadly, he's maintaining his vision for the country and demonstrating compassion for the people living in it. But of course, because it's Trump, CNN pretends it's a scandal instead of a win. So we're getting into the next clip right now where the panel really loses it. And I know it's completely logical. I'd probably do the same as many of you to drop off right now. I wouldn't say this if I didn't mean it. You need to watch this second clip. Enjoy.
The president can't just make these things up. There are rules to this game. He's got to play by them.
He won because people loved that he broke the rules and he broke the mold.
But now they don't. And now we see that his poll numbers are tanking into the 30s.
are you talking about?
Well, in this case,
These are narco terrorists. These are terrorist organizations. If Al Qaeda had a boat full of chemical weapons,
No,
it was going to
it's
kill
not
100,000 people. You'd sink it too.
Scott,
You'd sink
I'm
it
the
too.
only one at this table who
I know you're
helped
very important.
oversee
You're very important. You don't have to give us the, you're
operations
very important.
to go take out drug boats like this. Do you know how you take them out?
Like
Send the Coast
We
Guard.
didn't
Exactly
launch
what we
a
were doing.
missile into Jeffrey Epstein's house when we thought he was suspected of pedophilia. You went and arrested him.
Okay,
What
how's
you
it working
do-
out? How's
what
it working
you-
out for
what
the
you-
American
what you
people?
do-
How's it working out for all the
How about
hundreds
I-
of thousands
how
of
about I
people
finish my
who
sentence?
have died,
Scott,
from fentanyl
I
and
want to
whatever
see these
other?
people rot in
Fentanyl
prison,
doesn't
and you
come
know what
from
I want?
Venezuela.
I want intel from them to take down their networks.
Okay.
You want to support a guy that wants to blow stuff up because it's fun. That's not how
That's
you do
not
law
true.
enforcement. That's not how you
It's
take
not
down
law
these
enforcement,
networks.
it's national
That's
security,
not
and
what
there's a
you
key-
do.
there's a key
No,
difference.
this is not warfare.
But if you want to
These are-
support the
really
narco
is.
terrorists, go ahead.
Okay, well,
I can see why you got washed out. I can
But
say
this is
you're not in alignment
this
with
is
the president's
illegal.
views.
This is and if you are, then you can join the people who are going to probably have to be on trial for committing illegal actions
On
to
trial?
kill people.
Who? Who's
tell
gonna
me
put them on trial?
What principle of the laws of war allow you to strike unarmed people who don't represent an imminent threat? Explain it to me.
How
What
do you know
principles
they're
of national
unarmed? There's
security allow
surveillance
you to
of these boats ahead of
explain it
time.
to
lead
me.
people to believe that you can just let international terrorists with effectively chemical weapons into our country ad nauseum?
Tell me about the
That's
principle
really
of
making up a
proportionality.
lot.
I mean,
there.
honestly,
That's
Tell
really
me about the
making up a lot.
principle of
Tell me about the principle of deterrence, because I'll guarantee you they're not
That's right.
banana boats, they're not girlfriend boats, they're not whatever
There
you
may,
said.
there may
were.
in fact be
These are
drugs on the
narco
boat. I'm
terrorists,
not making the
and
argument.
and they're not going to be
I'm
given
not making
free
the
rein in our
argument.
hemisphere.
I'm not making the argument there aren't drugs on the boats. I'm making the
No, you said there
argument
were
that the
bananas on the
president.
boat.
I'm making the argument that the president cannot unilaterally decide to change the rules of how we engage in war,
Okay.
and that we are all going to end up having to pay for that. This is a complete change of the way this country has operated for decades, if not longer, if not hundreds of years.
Jamal's
Let me
completely
The
point
right.
out
president
that
is
we
changing the
started by
rules, and we
talking
got to
about-
figure out how long we're going to let that go.
I love you
started
guys
to-
like Donald Trump's not following the rules. We have been dealing with a president that has not been willing to be hemmed in by whatever old arrangements
rules.
there were.
Scott, the
In
rules
this
we're talking
hemisphere-
about are the rules
in this-
of law.
In this
They're the
hemisphere-
rules of law.
In
They're
this
the
hemisphere-
rules of law.
We have to
Scott,
take care of
they're the
business.
rules of law. Okay?
Legit.
The only
Relax.
thing,
You can stop
the only
these boats
thing,
by
started-
shooting out the engine.
We
The only
started
thing about
talking
this,
about
the only thing
tariffs.
about this is that when it comes to, I guess we'll just end. We'll end on Venezuela and boats. So that's where we're going to end on this one. But when you have British intelligence saying they don't want to share anymore because they are concerned that it is illegal, what is being done, that is a problem.
No,
Admiral
it's too
Halsey,
bad. They don't
Admiral
think that's
Halsey
the
resigned.
You don't think that's a problem?
after
I don't think
Admiral
it's a problem at all.
You think I give a rip what some country in Europe thinks about us policing our own
Do you
backyard?
care what
I don't
do you
know.
care what the military
people who
believes?
actually
Admiral
do care
Halsey
is the former
left his
commander of Southern Command was
Former?
on with me this week.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry, you want to make fun of James Stavridis?
No, I'm telling you that we have a commander-in-chief who promised the American
it, but-
people he was going to police our backyard of these narco terrorists, and that's what he's doing.
But there's a he
Then
said
police
the-
it. Don't
what
blow
is
them up.
lost
Scott, who are you talking to with this
when
stuff?
British intelligence is not
Scott's
sharing with the
absolutely right
United
about
States
this.
anymore is even greater than what is lost. And this one thing with boats, he said it is quite a problem. You can make fun of it all you
I'm
want,
not making
but
fun
I
of
don't.
it, but the
I don't
policy
pretend to have expertise in it, but I do lean on people who
the
do.
policy choices are made by the elected commander-in-chief, not by bureaucrats, not by formers. It's made by the elected representative of the people, and that's
And
the
not
The
by
president.
commander-in-chief
And
doesn't
you
get to
can
make
accept
up the
it.
rules
Okay.
on his own.
Prior to this video, I was going to compliment this host that's been sitting in for Abby, but I don't know if you just caught it there at the end. She said, I can't remember the admiral's name that resigned and says Trump's horrible and everything. She's like, what do you think about what he said? And Scott goes, okay. That's all he said. And she goes, oh, you're going to make fun of Admiral. Sorry, I can't remember his name. But make fun of, she said it twice. What an odd description of Scott's response. But needless to say, I can't compliment her anymore. This panel is truly insane. Did you see how unhinged all of them were? Scott had one point that wasn't even controversial. He said normal Americans aren't losing sleep over Donald Trump blowing drug-running boats out of the water. They're just not. People want the drugs stopped, period. That alone, for some reason, sent the panel into full emotional support circle mode. Then you've got stupid Miles Taylor, who, if you watch yesterday's video, has been taking constant personal shots at Scott. Anyway, he jumps in again like he's the moral authority because he once had security clearance at DHS. In most other circumstances, when that guy was talking about his security clearance and Scott says, yes, Miles, you're very important, we get it, I'd say, that's a little petty. Come on, Scott, you're better than that. In this scenario, completely justified. Think about what Scott has to do every day of his life. He sits on these panels surrounded by liberals who treat him like a target practice dummy. They never argue policy. They chase viral clips and pretend they're owning him for Twitter. And this Miles guy is just another in a long list of douches. Every segment I've watched with him when Scott's on the panel, he comes after Scott, talks over him, twists his words, and somehow thinks in his liberal, crazy, traitorous brain that he's landing punches. If you want more context, I'll add yesterday's video in the description. Click on it at the end of this video. It will be evident to you that Miles Taylor was begging for the smoke, so Scott gave it to him. Honestly, though, this whole exchange tells you way more about CNN than it does about Scott or Trump or any conservative. But what do you guys think? Did Scott handle Miles Taylor the right way? And do you think Trump's tariff adjustments help American families? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's it for this video. I put a post up on YouTube yesterday announcing the official launch of the Yesterday's News Channel membership program. Huge shout out to Scarlett and Gary Finch, both of whom liked the channel so much they were members of a membership program I didn't even know I had. And one last shout out to Mimi Russ and Cindy Alexander, who both joined the membership within minutes of seeing the post. You absolutely made my day. Thank you so much. I think it's probably fair to say that if you're watching at this point in the video, at least the majority of you kind of like the channel, which is good because I want to speak to you specifically. We are in the fetus level infancy stage of where this channel is going. Before you know it, and this will happen faster than any of us can really imagine, Yesterday's News Channel will be a serious, respected player in the conservative commentary space. I say that to say I don't donate a lot to channels or do subscriptions, but I think it would be kind of cool to be a founding father, that's what we're calling our first 40 members that sign up for the membership, of a channel I like that grew from 16,000 subs to over 1 million and is taken seriously in the conservative space. This is the last thing I swear. If you decide to sign up for a membership on Yesterday's News Channel, I am giving you my commitment, my promise. You will never regret supporting this channel. If you stuck around for that sales pitch, thank you for bearing with me. But also let me reiterate something I think you know. If nobody else ever signs up for a membership on this channel, that does not change one bit how much gratitude I have for every single one of you. Love me or hate me. I really appreciate you all watching my videos. I'm grateful for you every day. Otherwise, put God first. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, don't forget, click on the thing that probably just popped up. It's with that Miles Taylor and Scott guy going from the other day. It's just more context, like I said. Just click it, watch it. You will like the video. Click it. Why are you thinking? Just click it, dude. I'm telling you. I told you I'm honest with you.